What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the CotAcasT. I'm Brian Bermudez, and I'm the host of the Craft of the Air podcast, the aviation podcast that really just expands your knowledge in each and every episode. Join me and my guest as we explore this untold world of aviation together. I'm so glad that you guys are tuned in for another episode. On this episode, we really dive in we really had to make a fitting episode in light of all the strikes and recent controversy surrounding the world of aviation maintenance. And in today's episode of the CotAcasT, we dive deep into the lives and the challenges. There's a lot of challenges there, but the lives and the challenges of those who keep the skies safe and aircraft flying. With Thanksgiving just around the corner, millions of passengers are preparing to take the skies to be with their loved ones, right? But how often do these passengers consider the people working behind the scenes, on the ramp, in the hangar, on the flight line, to ensure their safety and comfort? We dive into all of that in this very special episode of the CotAcasT. First things first, today's episode is brought to you by Craft of the Air. Is your aircraft grounded due to maintenance delays? Feeling lost in the world of aviation solutions? At COTA, we understand your challenges. Craft of the Air offers efficient and reliable maintenance services to get you back in the air faster. Whether it's scheduled maintenance, AOG cores, or thorough inspections, our team of experts has you covered. Need guidance navigating complex aviation projects? Consulting by COTA provides tailored advice and cutting-edge insights that ensure your projects take flight smoothly. A&P students, take control of your future. Crowned by COTA is your unlimited study companion, and it's led by certified A&P subject matter experts. It's going to ensure that you're fully prepared to ace any A&P exam. COTA is more than just consultants. We're your personal aviation assistants. You're going to have to check out that website. Visit www.craftoftheair.com. Again, that's www.craftoftheair.com. And today, learn everything that COTA can do for you. Craft of the Air, our craft is of the air. So we dive right into it. It's this time of year, and the aviation system is under an incredible strain. The skies become busier. Delays multiply, and this pressure to keep things moving falls heavily on the shoulder of line mechanics, these A&P aircraft mechanics that work at international airports. Line mechanics often deal with higher stresses than some of other mechanics that may not be dealing with the strain or stress of an aircraft that has to quickly turn around and depart. So it's interesting, really, right? Imagine this, every holiday meal, the warm embrace of this family reunion for passengers, it actually hinges on this meticulous, often invisible work performed by aviation maintenance professionals behind the scene, and today we're shedding light on the incredible hours, these daunting tasks that these line mechanics endure, and especially during the holiday season, is really to remind everyone that these unseen workforce, they're unsung heroes. They're ensuring that we all reach our destination safely. And really, we think about it from so many different aspects, right? The passenger, the mechanic, the pilots, the ramp personnel. For many line mechanics, the holidays aren't spent at home around the table, with turkey and stuffing. Instead, they're spent on the tarmac, battling the biting winds, freezing rain, and even snow. Armed with only a flashlight, our tool bag, and our know-how. These aren't shifts filled with holiday cheer, I'd say. Not all the time, at least. Depends on who you're working with, right? They're long shifts, they're cold, and they're often lonely hours where the stakes really couldn't be any higher. A missed detail in an inspection could mean delays, cancellations, or even worse, right? You have to picture this. You have a mechanic laying on a cold, oil-slicked ramp in the dead of night with the smell of jet fuel, and it's lingering in the air, and he's trying to troubleshoot a hydraulic leak under a MD-80, or climbing 40 feet to replace a navigation light while we have icy rain. These are all things that mechanics can face on a regular basis. And it's really a level of dedication that I'd say most people don't think about as they sip their holiday cocktails at 30,000 feet. Have you ever wondered how many holidays mechanics spend away from their families so others can reach their loved ones? Now, the tasks at hand, I'd say, for a mechanic are, they're up there. The tasks that line mechanics handle during the holidays, it really can often be relentless and really time critical. We have pre-flight inspections, de-icing, troubleshooting, replacing burned out landing lights, checking tire pressure. It's all in the day's work. But really, when you think about the holidays, right, these tasks that I mentioned, they can often come back to back without a moment's rest. It's a small issue that may take minutes to fix on a slow day. It can become an all hands on deck crisis with holiday schedules on the line. There are also these human elements, right, that they add to the stresses. Imagine working on a plane that's delayed on Thanksgiving morning while we have passengers watching you from the terminal windows. Every face reflecting impatiently with anxiety. It's not just a technical skill that's required, my friends. It's a mental trait that mechanics must have in order to deal with these types of pressures and stresses. Here's a question that I have for our listeners and watchers. When is the last time that you've considered the precision and the care it takes to get an aircraft airworthy? And especially during the peak of a travel rush. Have you ever thought about what it feels like for a mechanic to finish a job and to finish a job knowing that they're safely delivering hundreds of people to their families? And that's one aircraft, hundreds of people. Imagine if you fix a couple. It's beyond the physical labor, really, too. The holidays also bring a mental strain. A lot of us know this firsthand. Long hours, last-minute repairs, and in aviation, this constant time pressure can really begin to wear down even the most seasoned mechanics. Mechanics often work under these fluorescent lights and really dimly lit hangars in some instances, and they're really swapping out these turkey dinners for these pre-packed meals or really sometimes vending machine snacks. A cup of coffee in a styrofoam cup becomes our vision of a holiday feast. I never forget working with one of the airlines that I did, and we had a Thanksgiving and we had Boston Market. We had a great time. We were a nice brotherhood, but it was interesting and just thinking about how a majority of the world or the country was celebrating with their families right now. And we were sitting in this small break room together, smelling like oil and jet fuel and hydraulics. Right? And not to mention the holiday feast, but really on top of that, there's this emotional toll of missing out on personal celebrations that A&Ps often have to deal with. Every year, countless mechanics, they sacrifice family traditions, and this is to keep aviation machines really running smoothly and safely. Imagine being unable to watch your kids' first Thanksgiving or if they're older, their first Thanksgiving play, or missing out on that one time a year your extended family gets together. And yet these mechanics, they keep showing up night after night, and they're driven not only by their paychecks, but their pride and their work in this aviation craft that we have. To the listeners here and our viewers, I said watchers earlier. Yeah, gotta, ever stop to think and reflect on these sacrifices made behind the scenes. Mechanics don't just ensure that you get to your destination. They do so at the cost of their own comfort and their time. You know, airplane fly during the day. So a majority of aircraft get fixed during the evening. With this Thanksgiving, I really challenge you to look at, the bigger picture here. Look out for those mechanics working on the flight line. It might be a real quick glance at someone perching on a tug or maybe huddling over an engine in the cold. When you see them, remember this. They're the reason your plans can go forward without a hitch. Let's flip the script for a second. What can you, as travelers, do to show appreciation? It could be as simple as thanking a mechanic when you see or acknowledge their work in conversations. A small gesture of gratitude can make just the biggest difference when I've just explained some of the circumstances surrounding some of these shifts and evenings. And it's just the smallest gesture. Imagine hearing thank you from someone rushing to their Thanksgiving dinner. That might be the only holiday cheer a mechanic experiences that day. As a professor, as someone that teaches our next generation of aircraft mechanics, I'm a business owner. I'm a line mechanic. I've been a line mechanic. I've seen firsthand the commitment and the passion it takes to excel in aviation, specifically aviation maintenance. Yeah, I tell my students that the role of a mechanic, it's not just technical, man. It's emotional. It's knowing that what you do every day ensures lives are protected, families are connected. The holidays are made whole by mechanics and pilots out there. But I also tell them to advocate towards these matters. We need advocacy in these unappreciated, unspoken about areas of aviation, right? The sacrifices that mechanics make, they deserve recognition, not just in words, but in pay. And we've spoken about that in previous episodes of the CotAcasT, work-life balances. And I'd say the resources to provide that can provide them a better shift, a better on-the-job experience, Listen, I'm a business owner. I understand the financial and operational pressures that we face in aviation. I've seen the strain of being told, you better make it happen, with limited tools, time, or resources. This is why I champion fair treatment and professional respect for all of our aircraft maintenance professionals. They are the backbone of this industry, and without them, planes will not fly. It's that simple. In closing, as you head to your Thanksgiving destination this year, I really challenge you to think about the invisible heroes of aviation, right? They aren't asking for an applause or accolades, just recognition and really respect for this vital work that we do. Please share this episode with our friends, family members who travel frequently, and help spread the awareness of the hard work that mechanics put in every single shift, every day. And for any mechanics that are listening or watching, I really thank you. Your dedication keeps us all in the air safely, even when it means sacrificing your own holiday celebrations. I know firsthand what it's like. I see you. I respect you. I'm rooting for you. And until next time, you guys, I hope you stay safe, you stay warm, and you keep turning those wrenches. And that about wraps it up for this episode of the CotAcasT. Guys, thanks for joining me on this episode. of the CotAcasT. This episode is brought to you by Craft of the Air. Need help with your aircraft? Schedule your free consultation today at www.craftoftheair.com. Again, that's www.craftoftheair.com, and learn everything Craft of the Air can do for you. Got questions or want to see the latest aviation insights? Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube using the hashtag CotAcasT, CotAcast. And don't forget to rate or review the CotAcasT on your favorite platform. Until next time, I hope you guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving. I hope you guys stay safe out there, get to your destinations as safely as possible, and we'll be seeing you soon.